Bueno amigos, aquí estamos junto a Simon y Rubén, que justamente posiblemente sea el argentino que más ha probado todos los sistemas de Spey y los ha utilizado y sobre todo ha utilizado los productos Rio. Simon, como experto, nos va a contar un poco sobre lo que son las líneas de dos manos, una selección que hemos hecho con las líneas principales, ¿verdad?
Con lo nuevo de Rio, para que Simon nos hable sobre la nueva propuesta de diseños.
Que es realmente sumamente interesante, por lo menos es lo que vos me dijiste,
Sí,
principalmente que las has estado probando ya.
Las probamos, notamos cosas realmente muy buenas, muy interesantes, pero bueno, sería genial que lo escuchemos de primera mano.
I let you explain, my friend, because you are the expert, you are the person that know that in detail, so I let you go ahead.
I hope we have a lot of time because it's complicated, but it's also logical.
But you always things complicated to make so easy.
Yes.
So
I think the important thing is to concentrate on the key families, what they call the Skagit and Scandi. There's lots of other types of lines, but these are the best fishing lines, I think, certainly in most of the world. And Argentina is the same, Skagits and Scandis, or
Yes.
not long bellies and traditionals.
No, it's more enfocated in Scandis and Skagit.
So it probably makes sense to concentrate on those two, and there's numerous products. Like everything, you can go down a rabbit hole and talk about 100 different products and confuse everyone. But I think the important thing to understand that most people need to know is what is the difference, first of all, between Skagits and Scandis.
yes.
Traditionally, it is what is called the mass, the weight of a fly line, the power. And the power of a fly line is like table tennis ball and a golf ball. We don't have a golf ball, but they're the same size. The golf ball is heavier, and this is lighter. Right? So a Skagit line originally was designed like a golf ball. Lots of weight, short, heavy, lots of power, excellent for big flies. And a Scandi line with very long tapers, was very light and gentle and had presentation. So initially, Skagits were these golf balls and Scandis were ping pong balls. I think those are good ways of separating.
Perfect.
Things evolve, not everybody wants lots and lots of gear, and now you can get lines that are going to do a bit of both, what we call a hybrid type of line. But the first thing is to understand essentially Skagit and Scandi, and when you look at Skagit lines, they're designed, and really if you're going to fish heavy flies with lots of weight on them, these kind of flies have got cone heads and lead eyes, and a table tennis ball, if you threw that at this, the ball is going to bounce off. This isn't going to move with this. But you throw a golf ball at this and this will move. So a golf ball will move this better. So generally, the heavier flies are cast better with these more powerful lines, which are traditionally the Skagit lines. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, of course.
And then the next factor comes into what kind of depth do you want to fish the flies? Do you want to go down deep? Do you want to fish near the surface? And all of these lines come into a variety of options. And this is where it gets really kind of in the weeds. When you do a lot of fishing, you're going to understand, here I need to fish 2 meters deep, or here half a meter deep, here I need to fish the surface. And so when you start to understand that, you need to fish different lines. You need to change your line to get to the different depths. And that's really what we're going to showcase here. And I think the first one, we may as well start with the first one here. This is the Skagit Pickpocket from Rio, a relatively new line. The most important thing is this. This is 20 feet long. Okay, so it is a short line. On the front of this, you must put on some kind of tip. You can't just tie this on and go fishing. And on the back of it, you attach it to a shooting line, which we can talk a bit about if you like later on.
Yes.
So it's not a complete outfit. You need this component and this, and you need your tips. And what you get here is when you get a line that's 20 feet long. To explain it, imagine a line this long, weighing 600 grains, and a line this long, also weighing 600 grains. This line has more weight. This is the golf ball.
Yes.
So these short heads have the most power. They're the best lines for wind, for big flies. They're the best lines for stripping in close to you because the lines are short, so the fly comes close. So when I'm going to go fish and I have to fish heavy flies or big flies, I'm always going to put on a short head. And if I need to get down, it's always going to be this pickpocket because it has sinking options and different options, but for different depths. So in a simple way, this most powerful, least amount of backcasting space, and also on a switch rod. A short rod like this is going to be much better with a short head. Otherwise the head is too long for the rod, and you cast and it just doesn't go out very cleanly. So the pickpocket for me is a phenomenally good line for that and power. That's where I mostly use it, for the most powerful line, wind and biggest flies. Makes sense. And of course you have to put a tip on, and you look at the sink rate. Like this one is a sink 3, 5, 7. This is a float intermediate sink 3. So on the front of this, your tip must be faster sinking than this front end, or equal to. Otherwise your line kind of does a weird thing. Okay, well, the next one is a similar type of line, but it's longer. It's 23 feet. It has less weight in it. It's a bit more of a hybrid line, like a bit between a Skagit and a Scandi. It has longer tapers to it. And one of the big differences the Gamechanger body has is that on these ones, really the only tips that work are your Mo tips and your T tips. These tips are level and have lots of weight every inch, and so they cast a big fly. These tips you can put on your Mo tips and your T tips, but equally they're designed to take your tapered replacement tips, making it this hybrid line that is a bit of Skagit, but a Scandi. You can get some presentation with it. So the one line, you can put this Mo tip on and fish this heavy fly, and then you can go down the pool and still go deep with a type 6, but it's a tapered tip and fish a smaller, lighter presentation fly. Okay. So that's what we would call a hybrid line, a bit of a combination of the Skagits and Scandis. So again, that's a particular type of line that is more versatile because it's not to do one job. For me, I tell people this is like a game of golf, and you go to your golf bag, and this is your wood to drive the longest drive, the heavy, powerful wood, the big wood, number 1 wood, the driver. And then this one is like a 3 iron, it's powerful, it can knock it a long way, but there's a little more finesse to it. And then when you get to your Scandis, then your Scandis are your 7, 8, 9 irons, and your pitching wedges. They're more accurate, they're a little bit more controlled. And every angler or every golfer must have these clubs to play a game. And I think in spey fishing, if you are doing a lot of different techniques, big flies, little flies, sinking tips, presentation, long cast, stripping, if you have lots of games that you fish, you need a lot of clubs. And that's one of the things that is so interesting in the spey world. And then on the Scandis are, again, originally the table tennis ball, the presentation. But the bodies on these things, these are now, a VersiTip type line is a line that has a body and it has a set of tapered tips. So again, it's designed for the presentation. It's designed generally for smaller flies. But when you take these bodies, you can get these bodies, it comes with a floating body, which doesn't give much depth. So you can get these sink 4 and sink 6 bodies. And I think these are specially made here, right, for Argentina, or made by Rio for Argentina, because you have this fishery to get depth, which river is that?
Yes.
Lemay?
Yes.
several
Chimney
rivers.
Wind, river. Yeah.
Okay, so all of those need more depth. Is it because there's more current, or why? Why is
It's deeper and current.
okay? So when you need deeper, you can't have a floating line, right? It holds it up.
Yes.
So you can just get the sinking bodies of these and put these on and attach them and get a lot more depth. This system works very well if you buy yourself an outfit and you have a reel with a shooting line, because to have these golf clubs you have to be able to change the clubs, and you need this what's called a shooting head system. So this is a shooting line. This one is called our metered shooting line. This way you can put on any head and just have one reel. Yeah, that's one. And this is the one I fish everywhere, because this one is got no memory, no stretch. So you pull it, you can see there's no stretch.
No stretch.
So if you make a long cast,
Very important.
for me, number one.
Is that important?
Oh, absolutely. Because if you make a cast, say 30 meters, 100 feet, and your fly swings around and you're not stripping it, and a fish takes the fly and pulls, if you use the other type of line, which is a mono line, and this is our grip shooter, which I'll show you in a second, but when you come down you can see it's mono. And this,
It elongates.
a lot of stretch. And this is only over not even a meter. With 30 meters, when you try to set the hook, you lose so many fish. So for me, my fishing confidence and the fish I catch are increased massively with a low stretch shooting line for that reason. But this is heavier and thicker than this. So if you need distance, then you go to this.
Yes.
And this is lighter. You can cast maybe 7 or 8 or 10 meters further with this than that. So if this isn't reaching the fish, it doesn't matter if you're going to lose them, because you're not even getting to hook one. So sometimes you need distance, and the mono shooting lines will give you the distance. And if distance is not so important, then these low stretch metered shooting lines, for me, every single time I can.
Yes.
Excellent.
What's popular here in Argentina? What do they use? A bit of both?
Both, but it's more used the mono for the distance.
Distance, and the other good thing about mono is if you have a sinking head like this, this is floating.
Yes.
And that's not so good, right? Because it holds it up. So you can put this on backwards, or you can cut this off, put your sinking head onto this, and the sinking head cuts it, and this goes down. So this is very good for depth as well as distance. But
Exactly.
It's good to know.
Another thing is that the wind in Patagonia too much, affect too much the mono for the slide that they're running.
That is, there's so many things to think about.
What I explained is that these two basically hybrid lines are filling out a space that was not covered by just an Skagit or an Skagit or Scandi. I mean, that's very good in my opinion.
They're very good. They're just so versatile. They're that. I mean, you could play a game of golf with a 3-iron.
You can use on any rod.
Yes.
Because you are.
Yes. Good question.
You mentioned about you can use that line with short rods, with longer rods, and I imagine that the longer rods you need a longer tip. I mean, you are balancing the system with your tip or whatever, any kind of tip that you are going to use if the rod is long, and if it's not long, it's like a short rod, which is a switch rod, for example. You are going to use a different tip.
You are. Different length of tip. I mean, a good rule of thumb is you don't want the length of your head and your tip to be more than 3 times your rod.
Exactly.
If your rod is 11 feet, 3 times 11 is 33. So this must be shorter. Apologies for not converting into meters, but
no, that's fine.
So it's a good rule of thumb that makes casting easy. If it's more than 3 times, people struggle to cast. So that is true. And then to your point is that there's an awful lot of people who think that this rod is for Skagit casting and this rod is for Scandi casting, and they get very angry if you think, oh, I'm going to put a Scandi on the Skagit rod. You can't do that. But you can't. They don't have an excuse or a reason. There's very, very few rods that are going to be, if I don't know of any rod that you cannot cast Skagits and Scandis. I think people don't want to start thinking you have to have a rod for Skagit and a different rod for Scandi. You can put them on. All that differs is the weight. A Skagit rod, a Skagit head on a rod would be, let's say, a 7-weight rod. 7-weight rod with Skagit, about 525 grains as a number. And with Scandi, that same rod, about 460 grains. Lighter, but on the same rod. And if you keep that, of course you can fish both. So for me, I think the important thing is to choose the line according to the species and the conditions, and not worry about what rod you've got. You buy the nicest rod you want, and you can fish Skagits and Scandis on it.
With respect for the proportion in the line on rod length, there are, it's interesting, in Patagonia, the wading deeper.
Yes, good point.
Yes, I use this configuration. Long rods and very short.
That's excellent.
It's work very, very well.
Very good.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because your casting height, if your hand is here and the rod is 11 feet, and now suddenly you're wading to here, you've lost 3 feet of rod.
Yes,
so
for you, for me it's 1 meter.
So that is a very good point. If you wade deep, then yes, you do want the short heads. Excellent point. I should have thought of that. Well done.
Bueno amigos, aquí estamos dando por concluido con esta charla esclarecedora realmente de todo lo que es el Spey moderno, de todo lo que es estos híbridos, ¿no, Rubén? Que están, creo yo que nos van a solucionar muchas de las cosas de las situaciones que se plantean.
Sí, aparte la tendencia, digamos, la tendencia es clara porque son realmente líneas que funcionan muy, muy bien en el momento de pescar y resuelven de manera muy sencilla el lanzamiento, algo que a todos los pescadores nos interesa.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always making it so clear, especially with this.
Muy bien, excellent. Thank you.
Excellent.